What is up, survivors? Cloak here. Poppers is out for the day, and today we're gonna go on a little raid. So let's get started. Now, we did find this bear cave just filled with rows of turrets, and pillboxes, and plants, and all that good stuff, you know, proper defense. Once we get inside, we found a couple dozen pteranodons, all on either neutral or aggressive. It did seem rather fishy to us, and if you ask me, I honestly think it's a personal gift left to us from our nemesis during the last war, a proper FU box, so to speak. But speaking of war, there is an art to it, and I think we should go over the consequences and the, potential catastrophes of engaging in a war. So I like to go a little philosophical here, and we'll go over the ARK of war for you. The first rule of war is don't start one. In real life, it's all the same, golden rule that shit up. Treat people how you want to be treated. But in ARK, I don't know, I do tweak the philosophy of Sun Tzu just a bit. So, I literally say do not start a war. If you are engaged in war, if you find yourself in a war, yes, that's fine, but never start one. You will find the losses are not worth the gains. Shadow raiding is one thing, wiping people is one thing, but war is completely different when all the players are involved. You will lose so many tames, it's not even funny. So I guess the general point is there is very, very little profit in war. It's all about ego trips and, superiority, wiping, politics, stuff like that. But you're not going to get very much loot. Most of it's going to rot on the field. It's definitely not the most economic version of PvP. But it's a lot of fun, if you can afford it. Okay, so let's go over the different types of things you're going to lose in a war. Tames, absolutely. Your best tames, your favorite tames. Loot, gear, rifles, black armor, ascendant, mastercraft. All that stuff is going bye-bye. And if you find yourself fighting an alpha or an omega who happens to be capable of looting the field, they're going to take your saddles right off those dead bodies. Like this one here. They're just going to try to come up and get your stuff. So you got to be quick on your feet. You're going to need some melee guys in there, some brawlers, some people going out naked with clubs, stuff like that. There's a lot of different aspects available here. You need your snipers, you need your tame riders, you're going to need your air units, you're going to need your gigas, you're going to need your Quetzals protecting the gigas, and it goes on. I mean, it literally goes on forever. It's like StarCraft, but with micromanagement. You're going to need people working in teams, and you're going to need great communication. Because I guarantee you, if your enemy is going to war with you, they've done it before, and they have great communication. So if you don't, they're going to own you. It's that simple. Biggest thing about war in this game is this is not StarCraft. You are not going to finish a war in a half hour, or 2 hours, or 3 hours, or 5 hours, or 2 weeks sometimes. You might go on for a year. Hopefully not. Hopefully you can finish out within 2 weeks, but you're probably going to lose a lot of your major bases. If you are an alpha, or if you're even a beta tribe, they're going to wipe 1 or 2 or 3 at your bases if you finish the work that quickly. They're probably heavy hitters. They most likely shadow raid people and didn't realize that you could defend as well as you do. But the biggest thing with war is time, like I said, time. You're going to have trouble sleeping. You're going to need to sleep. You're going to need to go to work. You're going to need to use the bathroom. You're going to need to take a shower. You're going to need to do all the things that you need to do in real life, but you're not going to have the time to do it. And by the end of it, if you don't have people working together in shifts, the enemy is going to eventually be able to get you when you're not there, when you're not online, and they will win the war if you are not online. Turrets will not do it for you. Plants will not do it. Putting all your tames on neutral is just stupid. So, work out a separation of duties and a time schedule if you're serious about this kind of stuff. I have seen a tribe hit a server in a cross-server war for 72 straight hours. They had day shift and night shift, and every one of their warriors was well rested. Everyone on our server was exhausted. So in the end, it actually can just come down to being a war of attrition if you're lucky or unlucky. Like I said, first rule of war, don't start one. Next part is karma. So there are obviously different types of players in this game, different types of PvP, different types of everything. In war, that's generally going to be an alpha or an omega, and they're going to be going after another alpha or omega. A lot of times when this happens in a cross-server war, it has the side effect of uniting and allying up each server against the other one. And it can be a good thing in the long run. support each individual server. But there's also things like wiping out newbies, or cleaning the server, or wiping the server. There's a lot of different things going on. In a war, generally, nowadays it's going to be one server versus the other server. But after the war, there can still be trolls, so sometimes you got to go around cleaning the trolls out. Biggest thing I can say about this is make sure you go for the trolls. Don't attack the newbies. I mean, if you are the type of sadistic person who gets off on attacking innocent people, I guess go for it, you know? Please your ego. But there's always going to be a price to pay. If you're the type of person who likes killing passive tames for no reason, if you're the type of person who likes breaking into people's bases and taking all their stuff, or if you're the type of person who likes breaking into their bases and dropping all their stuff on the floor because it makes you feel good for them to hurt, you might be a sadist. Or a troll. And, I mean, this game can be fun, but I don't think it's the game for you. You're probably going to be better off with Call of Duty. Halo, Titanfall, Battlefield. Listen, I can go all day. I think you get the point. War should always have an economic purpose or political goal. If you're just doing it because you get an emotional dopamine high off of it, play something else. You're only going to get away with that for so long. That means it only takes 99 people to lock a server out for 48 hours and wipe the entire thing, right? So it really doesn't matter how big you are, how strong you are, or how many friends you have. You will always have more enemies than friends if you piss enough people off. Politics, my friends. I cannot stress that enough. ARK is politics. Now, I'm not against shadow raiding. Shadow raiding absolutely has its purposes, especially for economic value. I don't know about you, but if you are about to wipe me, I am not going to let you get my loot. It is going on the floor, I am going to let that shit rot, and I'm going to send you a video of it. I imagine most people will be vindictive like that, so if you want loot, raiding someone when they're online is not the way to get the most profit. Period. Just remember what I said about karma. Make sure you're raiding the correct people. Trolls, go for it. You know, newbies on the server, I don't have fun wiping noobs because, you know, it's boring. But some people do, especially if you don't have a lot to work with. It's a good challenge. It's definitely good practice. But at the end of the day, make sure you do not attack an ally of somebody important on the server. I cannot stress that enough. Do not attack the wrong person. And now with cross-server opening up, really, you got to make sure you're not attacking the wrong person from a different server too, because they might have friends who will come over just to say hi. Most of the wars that I saw last month were started because one person shadow raided another person and got caught. You know, the alpha of that server cannot back down. They have to represent, and as a side effect, there's losses on both sides. It's really just an ego trip, but it's expensive. Remember, politics, politics, politics. Alright, now the third general rule I'm going to go over here is just losses, regardless of karma. Losses are inevitable. You are going to lose everything you take onto that battlefield, so get ready. Get ready to lose your best stuff, or don't take it. It's that simple. The nice thing if you're a member of an alpha tribe is you're generally at, tame cap in 7 different tribes. So it's okay if you lose your best stuff because you got eggs in the fridge that are way better than that stuff. But that still hurts. I don't care who you are. The amount of time and hours you put into raising these 100% imprints, I don't care if you have a better one in the fridge, it still hurts. Best thing I can say is do not take your best tames out. Use Mastercraft instead of your Ascendant when you go out. And personally, I like to keep a couple vaults full of Journeyman Flak. That way it's disposable. I mean, a lot of emotions at play here. But that's enough philosophy for now. Let's get back to the cave and take out some X-plants. Now, when it comes to taking the plants out, there's lots of different methods, but in this cave, fire arrows are going to be our best friend. And these cluster grenades probably won't be useful till later on, so I'm going to go ahead and spot Joe, have him take out the plants, and I'll have Evan soak up the bullets from the turrets until we can get a Pteranodon in here with some health on it. Really soak those bullets up. Wooden shields are okay for soaking up bullets. Metal and riot shields I think are way too expensive. So, wooden shields and, cheap flak if you wear any armor at all. I don't recommend wasting armor to soak up bullets. On this one, by the way, the fire arrows are going to deal way more damage to the plant than the crop plot. So make sure you're aiming for the plant. You're going to need like, I don't know, 20 arrows to take out the crop plot. You're only going to need like 2 or 3 to take out the plant with an ascendant bow. So just some food for thought. And right now, really, there is no need for us to have one person soaking bullets. So I'm going to get another bow. We'll get some more fire arrows and see if we can't help out. That way we can take these plants out twice as quickly. Really only should need 1 spotter. You can use 2, but if you got good communication and everyone shuts up in party chat, 1 spotter's good enough. By the way, if you have not realized yet, this is in fact a shadow raid. There is no one here. And since we've taken this place out a couple weeks ago, no one has come to complain about it in the world chat. So it kind of reinforces our decision wiping the place. It does seem to just be a very, very big bomb waiting to give the server trouble. That or it's a standing army that someone plans to use against us later, so either way, it's gotta go. And I kind of want to show you guys why these cluster grenades are not the most useful until we either A, drain the bullets, or B, take out the plants, and preferably C, both. If you throw the grenade at the right angle, the plants shouldn't take it out before it is able to get down there. But if they have enough turrets, the turrets are going to knock out all 7 of the explosions. The first initial and the, 6 secondary explosions that come from it. Check it out. All of them before they hit the ground. Oops. I'm sorry, guys. That's my bad. So, another reason why you do not want to really be using explosives when turrets are up. Don't be that guy. Okay, so let's take out some plants, and I'm going to show you guys how much I suck with this bow. If you've never used the compound bow before, it's a lot like real life. Much better than the recurve or regular bow. However, not quite as accurate as the crossbow. Did I hit it? Did I hit it? Let's see. Nope. I don't think I did. Alright, I'll spot Joe here. So, check it out. 2 arrows will actually do it. They deal 750 each from his crossbow. But, by the time he reloads and fires the second shot, the plant has healed anywhere from 10 to 15 hit points. So he's got to shoot it a 3rd time, which is kind of silly. If he had a crossbow with a little more damage, it would work in 2 shots. Direct hit. Nice. Just lining them up. A little high. Bam! So like I said, fire arrows versus plant species X. Fire arrows are your best friend. Also, it's because we're in a cave. It's kind of mandatory. We don't really have any other options here. If we had turtles or quetzals available to soak up bullets, we could get the plant's distraction. And I still would not waste cluster grenades on these guys. I think fire arrows get the job done as cost effectively as possible. Bam! Another one. Not to mention, if you're riding a, tame, and you get hit by one of these things, you're still going to be blind. So I don't think that tames can soak up plants as well as they soak up bullets. Just in my opinion. So you can see why spotting is so important. You can never actually see the arrow, whether it's hitting high directly on or low, without me looking through the spyglass. He will not have time to pull a spyglass out and check. So, this just works a lot better. And what we're going to have to do here is finish taking these plants out, and then soak up some of those turret bullets. We'll probably use the Pteranodon we have available, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get in there. So we'll soak up what we can, force feed the Pteranodon some raw meat, get the health back up on it, keep soaking as much as we can, And we'll probably go ahead and head back to base, resupply, get the correct Pteranodon, get enough supplies to get in here, and maybe do a couple of meat runs as well, that way we have enough meat. But first, we'll finish taking out these plants, and then let me show you guys how to soak up these bullets with the Pteranodon. Last one. Perfect. Now let's drain some bullets. Now you can see Joe using Link to drain the bullets there. I'm going to grab the meat I have on my Quetzal, which isn't much, but it will help. Nice thing about Pteranodons is they have a low hit point threshold, which means the raw meat's going to heal them much faster than other tames, kind of. And it's the only thing we can actually get in there that's worth, tanking. So we'll grab all this raw meat, we'll drop it for Joe, and if the turrets aren't staggered, I'll show you the old bait and switch technique, where the turrets shoot the Pteranodon, and then we blow them up with a grenade. But it's kind of close quarters, so we'll see. There you are, sir. Enjoy. Let's do it. Okay, so we still can't see completely back there, but if there's another row of turrets, this will not work because the Pteranodon will not be soaking up all of their attention, and this grenade's going to explode before it ever gets to the ones that are shooting at the Pteranodon. So, looks like we're going to need a Pteranodon with more hit points, and we're going to have to completely drain those turrets. But, that'll be next time. I think this video's gone on far long enough. If you like what you saw, if you want to see more, or if you just want to see the next video, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. As always, I am Cloak. Poppers is out for the day, but he will be back next time to help me finish wiping this place. You can count on that. Thanks again for tuning in, survivors.
Make sure you like,
Subscribe!
and tell us what you want to see.
Leave a comment!